Just a quick heads up that there are timestamps in the description box if you need to skip around because it's very detailed and a lot of steps to this. This is Fatina 𝐒𝐤𝐤𝐜 of 𝐂𝐡𝐢𝐜 Cosmetic Designs. We're doing cooking with 𝐒𝐤𝐤𝐜 today. And happy holidays, y'all. We are not doing the most this year. Me, it don't feel right without no dressing. To me, yeah, if I had to have one thing that feels like holiday food, is dressing and ham. One other time I tried to show, when I first started YouTube, to try to do my dressing and lost all the footage. So I am praying that this time I can get all the footage. Okay? We gonna get this footage today. So, since there's so many steps to dressing, you really don't have to do that twice, especially since Thanksgiving and Christmas is so close together. You know how you just, yeah. My grandma used to put some in a freezer bag and then take it out, and that's what I've been doing, and I liked it. So I would do the same thing, especially since it seems like it go to waste because everybody don't eat it. So let me show you the ingredients. Now for the ingredients, like I say, it's a lot of steps. Veggies, you gotta cut up celery small. Don't nobody want to be chomping on the big parts of celery. And onion. For the bread, cornbread. Don't use Jiffy unless you want some sweet dressing. If you're not making the cornbread from scratch, I mean they do have cornbread flakes too, but I prefer making it from scratch. And about 4 pieces of bread toasted, milk, egg, and you can do buttermilk, old school buttermilk if you want to, and some butter. Actually, the half a stick of butter because I got the kind that's in the thing, but also these. It's convenient and takes the guesswork out of it. Or some vegetable oil. Cast iron skillet too, y'all, because it just gives it that nice old school punch. Do some chicken breast. And you can add some chicken gizzards if you old school. I got 2 packs because I be guilty of eating some after I cook it. Some like beefy onion soups. You can use the broth from when you do your chicken, but also can have some extra chicken broth because you want to make sure it's not too dry. And for seasonings, you can do salt, some ground sage, some black pepper, some poultry seasoning, and Cajun seasoning, whatever you want to do. Both of these are Cajun seasoning and garlic powder. I'm going to cheat on the gravy because I like 𝐵𝐷𝐷 gravy, and I'm going to use this chicken gravy and cream of chicken. I would normally do it in a long one, but I'm going to do it in a smaller one and then put some in the Ziploc bag. So yeah, that's a lot going on, but it's going to be good. It's a lot of steps, but we're about to get started, so stay tuned. You want to get at least a pound of chicken breast. I got 2 pounds of chicken breast, and I got thin sliced because I didn't want it to take as long to cook. Then I'm rinsing it off and cleaning it, and then I'm also going to poke some holes in there so that the flavor can get down in the meat better. Then I'm going to wash my chicken gizzards, and then I'm going to get stuff like that off of it too. And if you don't know what a gizzard is, it's basically the mechanical stomach of a chicken. Since they don't have teeth and they swallow their feed whole, it just helps grind and mixes the bird's feed. And it does have nutritional value. It's rich in protein, vitamins B12, which helps with brain health, zinc, iron, phosphorus, and it's low in fats and cholesterol. And yeah, it is a tough piece of meat. So like it says, it's an organ in poultry that's rich in savory when braised until tender because you do have to cook it down. It reminds me of the switch up with oxtails, how, it's an economy piece of meat, but depending on who get their hands on it, it can turn into a delicacy, even though some cultures been eating it for years.
And they can be known for eating them in different ways in different areas. Like Haiti, Southeast Asia, they like them grilled in their street food. Mexico, they like gizzards in soup. Africa, cook them all different type of ways, fried, boiled, grilled. In Europe, they like them either over salads or in pâtés. But I'm in the States, and if you're in the States like me and you've never heard of it, I mean, hey, I'm a Southerner and we making Southern dressing. So if you from the States, deep fried gizzards is very popular in the South, especially when I lived with my grandma in Clarksville, Mississippi. I used to go around the corner to that double quick gas station, and you know how they got food in the gas station? I would definitely get me some gizzards, put some hot sauce on that thing. Yes, ma'am. If you know, you know. I haven't seen a double quick in years. I don't know if that's a region thing. You know how if you live in certain parts in the United States, you know what I mean? Maybe that's a southern thing. I don't know. But I had not seen the double quick in a long time. And this was like maybe late 90s. I don't remember, but we was passing through, and I don't know if we was in Greenwood, Greenville somewhere, but we stopped at a KFC to get something to eat, and they had some gizzards at the KFC, y'all. Tell me if you remember this. I was shook, and they were good, but that ain't everywhere because they didn't have them where I lived. So I don't know. But yeah, gizzards is probably more popular than you think, but especially in the South. And I'm sure eating too much fried anything is probably not going to be ultimately good for you, but it still has its nutritional benefits, even eating them fried. So especially if you're a southerner like me and always was eating them but didn't really know what it was, or you know how it's just a culture thing, there you go. Because I didn't always know this either until I looked it up. Just think. We moved from Wisconsin to Clarksville, Mississippi when I was 12. So I was a little bit older to establish, you know, what I would eat and not eat. But I like the gizzards. I've even eaten chitlins before. I don't eat them like that now. And I definitely ain't, you know, making them myself. But you know, this right here with the food that traumatized you as a child, liver, I shared a story with the girl above because my grandma had me eat some. It's high in iron, and I did always struggle with being low iron, but it was bitter. She had it dressed up like steak and honey. I thought it was no, I wasn't feeling that. And I feel the bottom comment about the stuff with the weird stuff like the pig ears and snouts and carrying on, because no, ma'am. This what I said about it. Don't. I've never eaten pickled pig feet. It just. I was older. Go in the store. You see a pink foot floating in a jar. Like I want that foot right. No, I cannot do it. All the pig feet. And the other one I never could eat was hoggy sauce or hog head cheese. Now in Wisconsin, my mom did eat some southern things like liver cheese, so I ate that and fresh liver cheese from the deli. I could deal with that on some crackers. But the name say it all. Hog head cheese. Look at what it got in there. It's got pork hearts, pork tongues, all that. Nah. I mean, it literally says hog head in the name. I can't do it. That's one thing. I don't give me some regular stuff like bacon. I can't do this. That's where I draw the line. But yeah, feel free to, you know, comment what food traumatized you as a child or what you even like. You might like it, you know, as a southern and grew up on it, even younger, you know. So yeah, back to these chicken gizzards. Definitely a staple in the southern dressing. So make sure you wash it and that you peel that stuff off of it.
All right, y'all. So that is the chicken gizzard, but especially in that beefy onion. And my grandpa would cook it in some like beefy onion soup that give it a little graviness. Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fine for sure. So I ain't even gonna necessarily put all this in the dressing, but I'm gonna eat some because I know I'm gonna get hungry while I'm making it because it takes so damn long. All right, now I gotta put some water in pots. I could use them together. I'm gonna cook them separate because I don't necessarily want the beef and onion on my chicken breast. I'm not gonna do it together, especially if I need to separate the broth. So no. And no, this is my third time making dressing all by myself. I was the person that was chopping up the stuff and doing the little side stuff, but for the past few years I've been making it myself. It was good both times I did it. Even the first time it was good. So we're gonna keep going. Alright, so now we over here at the stove, and I'm gonna go ahead and put my chicken breast in here, and I'm gonna use my beefy onion, and I already put that in there. I'm gonna mix it in there. Throw a little vegetable oil in each one, just a little bit. I'm gonna put my chicken gizzard in here. Yeah, I probably should have seasoned it before I put it in there. It's gonna be seasoned in the dressing itself. That I'm gonna do my salt. my Cajun seasoning. I'm gonna do the poultry seasoning. Do a little garlic powder. Do a little black pepper. And some ground sage. Pretty much using the same stuff that I'm gonna use when I season up the whole dressing, but I'm doing it in the meat too. And then put the tops on them and let it simmer about an hour. You could check on it before then, but I would say about an hour, especially the gizzards. And honestly, since I'm adding stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and add some chicken broth. Even though it should make its own broth, I'm gonna add a little bit just to add on to it to the chicken breast. Make sure the water flavor good. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Now I'm preheating my oven to 350 for the toast. And then on a cookie sheet, I'm going to put 5 pieces of toast. You can do 4 to 5. And buttering them up. And then I'm going to put it in the oven and do that for about 5 minutes. Now for the cornbread, southern-wise, you want to do it in a cast iron skillet because it's going to make the edges crispy, but it's going to make the inside tender and moist. And you just can't replicate that. So preferably use a cast iron skillet.
And make sure you got your bowl, milk, cornmeal, the self-rising cornmeal, some butter, some eggs, and measuring bank if you want to use that.
So that's everything you need to make your cornbread mix. So let's get started.
Now, also while we got the oven preheating, we can get the skillet hot. And then you can put some vegetable oil or some butter, which, of course, I'm gonna go with the butter because it's gonna add that flavor, you know. Make sure you do that so once it go in there, it'll be hot and kind of toast the bottom of the bread, you know what I mean? And also, I like to pour some butter into the mixture of the bread too. So just get your butter hot.
Now for the cornbread mix, this is the baseline mixture. You can use yellow or white self-rising cornmeal, and you can start with 2 cups of cornmeal, but you can tweak it, which I did, and I'm showing you now. I ended up having to add some more separately to add in there. Again, baseline measurements. Add about 1 3/4 cup of whole milk or buttermilk. And you can start with 1 cup and then add gradually. But a good rule of thumb is if it's too thick, add more milk. If your mixer's too thin, add more cornmeal. And it should just be a little bit thicker than pancake batter. You can see I'm doing that when I had to add some more, just kind of gauging it, and that helps you feel your way through. Because I had to add some more. Okay, so in the original mixture, the baseline mix, I added 2 eggs, and I wanted to mix them in a separate little container before adding it to the mixture. But then when I made a second batch, I added 1 egg, so 3 in the end. So mixing it up, and then I even had to tweak that first batch. Like I say, if it's too watery, add some more cornmeal. So that's what I was doing before I even did a second to add to it in a skillet. But yeah, so mixing it real good. Then adding that butter that I had in the skillet. Ended up in my second batch, I added a little vegetable oil. Mixing it up some more. Then with my hot skillet on the stove that I had on low heat, I add a little bit more butter because, you know, I've kind of poured the rest of it in my cornbread. So I initially poured the baseline mixture in my skillet. But then, you know, that's where I was discovering that it looked like it wasn't enough cornbread to me, you know, when I was spreading it out. And so that's when I went and just kind of did an additional batch, and then I added that to it. So you saw me kind of incorporate that as I was going with the first batch, but then I poured that on in there just to make sure it was more cornbread, because I'm trying to make enough because I like to put some in the freezer bag because I'm making some for, you know, Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's usually what I like to do, or just, you know, like to save some for later. So that's why I use so much, but you don't have to if you don't want to.
The oven is ready. Now, let's put it in the oven. Oh, this is me. This over here doing too much. The top, rub it a little bit. Oh, see it to the side. Chicken is doing its doing. Alright, I'm going to put the cornbread on in there. Okay. And you can do your cornbread about 25-30 minutes until it get golden brown. You can check on it. If you need to take it out sooner, fine. Don't let it be burnt, but let it be golden brown on the top. And then take it out. Alright, now I got a 10 to this. Give me 10 to this. Okay. See what my chicken doing. Is this because I got, and then it's a little bit hot. And it's boiling over. Is the problem. But I'm gonna bear with it, sure. But yeah, I got about 20 more minutes, I think, on the meat. Ooh, child. I might let this cook the rest of the way without the top on, because I think that top is making it boil over. So yeah, I'm making a mess now. So make sure you wash dishes as you go. And the wash the dishes I've been using while it's cooked. And then go from there. Okay, so I got about 16 minutes on the cornbread, and I'm gonna start chopping up the veggies. You need about a cup of celery. You saw I had this half thing, but usually a medium onion. I'm gonna see how much it measures up. I got this. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller, even though it's probably fine where it is.
All right, so about to chop the celery up. So just breaking those off, cutting off the bottom end and the top ends of each piece, you know, using it as my little bag and cutting it down the middle of each stalk. Then I take the two pieces that I cut in half and just cut them at the same time, just dicing it up. And so, yeah, I got those done initially. Then I start kind of going back over the bigger pieces and chopping them even smaller, as you can see. Because if you remember from me saying it earlier, don't nobody want to be chomping on no big old pieces of celery and onion up in there. So I try to cut them up real fine. And you can see the difference. The left side is smaller than the right side. So just want you to see that. So definitely it helps to go over it another pass. Then as I'm going, I just kind of take the side of my knife and scoop it up and put it in my measuring cup is what I'm doing, so I can see if I got about a cup of celery.
Alright, so we got about a cup of, a little bit over of celery. I'm not going to do all these. We're going to see if this will take it to the top. If not, then I'm going to put some out of the other one I got on here. But if you're not using pre-diced, then one medium onion is what you're supposed to use.
And even though it's diced, you see I'm still going back over it because, again, I don't want the onion pieces to be too big. So taking another pass over those and then scooping it up, putting it in my cup, and trying to have it up to the 2-cup mark. So I know I got about a cup of celery and a cup of onion, but it's a little short, so I'm just adding some more onion to it from that other container that I was talking about. I'm using these because I already had it in there for something else, but just use a medium onion. So now that my onion and celery is chopped up, now I'm just going to set that aside and check on my cornbread.
It's been 30 minutes and they look pretty good. They look all right.
The trick is to see if your fork comes out clean, if you just need to test it. And it's a little dry crumbs, but it's not no wet batter on there, so it's done in the middle. It's safe to take out.
All right, so let the cornbread cool off, just like I'm letting the toast cool off, and then we're gonna crumble it up. The veggies, I gotta saute that. And I told y'all it's a bunch of steps. And then the meat should be done too. And it's been over an hour. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this off. My gizzards off. I'm gonna take my chicken breast and put it in a bowl so it can cool off, and then I'm gonna have to shred it. But you see how I got that good broth down in there. So I can always put that on there in my dressing when I'm whizzing it. So let that cool off and shred that up later. And then my chicken gizzards, the same thing.
So yeah, I'm putting it in a container to let those cool off. And I'm a little disappointed though, because last time I had more of a gravy, my little beefy onion stuff. So I'm pouring some water off of it and then putting it back on the stove. And then the ones that I'm gonna eat a little later, I'm gonna just let them kind of cook a little bit longer. But it's not necessary, of course, for the dressing. Like the other ones are done, they tender, and they gonna be just fine in the dressing.
That's the chicken gizzards that I'm gonna sit to the side and let that cool off too. Yeah, the top on it would have made it more tender. So I'm gonna put the top on there this time and go from there. And this my broth that I'm gonna save some of that to pour into the dressing. All right, y'all. So this is where we at now. Like I said, it's really a lot of prep. I have not sauteed the celery and onions, but I will have to do that. But I'm gonna wait on that. Right now, I'm just gonna let the chicken and the gizzards cool off. Then I have to shred that up and chop that up. That's gonna take some work. And then I'm gonna have to crumble up the cornbread. This is not the greatest looking cornbread, but it'll be fine. But see, I guess if you do yellow cornmeal for regular cornbread that you eating on, then yeah. But that and my bread, I'm gonna crumble that up, and then we'll start mixing some stuff up. And I'm gonna use that chicken broth that I got because it's got flavoring in that. But just in case, I have regular chicken broth that was in the canister, which you saw. Or I may do half and half. You feel what I'm saying? So we'll figure it out. But yeah, this is where we at now, and just letting stuff cool off before I break it up. Because if you do it now, that's gonna be too hot. This you can see the little steam. What black folks say, them heat monkeys jumping up off of it, like if off the pavement when it be hot outside. Yeah, that's just jumping up off all that. So that's definitely too hot to be messing with. But yeah, and I'll saute that down before I put it in there. So this is where we at now. Stay tuned for the next part. So yeah, that's the preparatory stuff. We're gonna let that cool off, like I said. And if you want to do this stuff a day before Thanksgiving or Christmas, whatever, then you can do that. Because there's definitely a lot of steps. That's how come, the dressing thing is. But it's so good, though. Like I said, that's the one thing that made me feel like it's a holiday with some dressing, for sure. So, yeah, that's going to be good. I'm going to saute that later. But I'm going to let it all cool off so I can crumble everything up and do the next step. And so in the meantime, me few these little chicken gizzards and watch a little Christmas something with the kids, and then come back and finish.
1 hour later.
All right, so we're back. I'm about to go ahead and saute the chopped celery and onions.
So after turning the stove on, I'm going to put some butter in the skillet. Then after that melts down some, I'm going to put my onions and celery in there. And then I'm going to season it up with the same seasonings that I did for the meat and everything. We're going to do the salt, the pepper, the poultry seasoning, garlic powder, ground sage, and cook all that down, mix it together and just saute it all together so it has good flavor. And then, see, look at that. I'm gonna use them seasonings. So just let it cook down and soften up the veggies.
All right, so now we're just gonna put it in here. Now we'll let that cool off while I am chopping up the chicken and the gizzards and stuff next. All right, so here's the chicken. You can either try to shred it with a fork. You can see it's tender or whatever. Or you can try to cut it. try my hand at doing it like this. Or like this, y'all. Whatever gonna make it quicker. And the little hard pieces, just take it out. Simple as that. Alright. Put it in my bowl as I go. The doggone part I'm dreading the most is the doggone gizzards, because that's a lot of cutting and it's awkward shaped, so not looking forward to that. But this, it's going pretty fast in comparison. Alright, y'all. We are done with the chicken. Got that on one side. And then we're going to do this. Yeah, they looking a little dry looking nasty now. They are looking a little dry. It's gonna be alright. They awkward shaped, but this probably gonna be the most tedious. The chicken was easy to do, but this is about to be something. But what I like to do is I like to kind of cut them smaller. Just go like this. In that way. But yeah. So it's definitely good. And the dressing. It's a lot different than some doggone stuffing. I don't like no stuffing, y'all. Give me dressing, not no stuffing. It's almost equivalent to pumpkin pie versus sweet potato pie. And especially in the South, we want a sweet potato pie, no pumpkin pie. I don't know if it's a culture thing, But yeah, give me some dressing. Not no stove top stuffing or stuffing, whatever. Don't do that. Also, the hard parts like the gristle. If you want to take that out, just take that out.
So yeah, like I say, if you see any gristle pieces, take that out. Hopefully you're paying attention to how I'm cutting it, just slicing it and then going back the other direction. As you can see, it's taking a lot of prep time. So especially if you're cooking multiple things, just try to do it the night before or something like that.
Alright, y'all. That's the last of the gizzards. And yeah, half the chicken and half the chopped gizzards. And now move on to crumbling the bread. Alright, so we got the meat cut up. That was probably the most tedious part. I'm going to preheat the oven at 350 because now we're about to get ready to, get to going. We're mixing stuff together because the bread ain't nothing to do. Alright, just turn the oven on right quick. And now let's get this bread crumbled up. First, I got a big old bowl. And I guess I'm going to do this first. Cut some pieces. I'm just cutting it crazy looking. Alright. And then get up in there. Like that. I ain't got no big chunks in there or nothing. And of course, if you want to pull these out, you can. But just make sure you got everything mixed down good. This feel like a little hard piece, so yeah, stuff like that. If you want to pull it out, you can. Maybe that's me being picky, but it is what it is. And then repeat.
And so repeat, just crumbling up the bread, getting any hard pieces out and just refining it, getting the rest of the crumbs out, and that's that.
Okay. So that is the cornbread. And now we're going to do the toast. Let's try to do it, you know, in small pieces if you can. Of course, we're going to be mixing it all together. Ooh, my back's starting to hurt, y'all. It's standing. Eating stuff off the floor. All right, so that is the last of the toast. Let me just mix it all together. And then we are going to start mixing everything together. I hope this bowl don't overflow because I'm putting it all in the same doggone bowl. There's going to be a lot going on. It is. Now we about to mix everything together. It's a lot in here. So I'm going to separate some and put it over here in a separate bowl. Because, yeah, there's definitely going to be plenty of dressing, and I'm going to be putting some in the freezer bag, like I said. So mix it all together. Also, I got my chicken broth, and I got my chicken broth in the box. But I also have the natural broth from when I was making the chicken. That's got all the good flavors and everything in there. You can do what you want to do, but I got it. So I'm already preheating the oven at 350, and I'm going to use this dish. I have a bigger one, like I said, but I do not want to use that because we're not going to use all that. And I got some butter that I have sitting out. I'm going to butter this dish. We got butter in there. We got the cornbread and the toast mixed together. We got the sautéed veggies and the meat. So let me put this to the side, y'all. It's so much, y'all, and I'm getting tired too. Let's start with putting the meat in there. Yeah, and don't be worried about getting your hands dirty. Just mix it all in there. Good. And the veggies. Mix those in. Alright, so now with the broth, let me go ahead and dip this in here. Pour it over. Okay, somebody cook there. You can do 4 to 6 cups of broth. And I'm still gonna add some regular chicken broth. But I just wanted to use all that flavor that's in that too, that I got. But you can do one or the other. Because it's definitely gonna take, I got so much. Yeah, it's definitely better to be soupy. Yeah, it's still dry as hell. So yeah, all that little cute stuff measuring, y'all, like I said, you gotta get comfortable with just going at it. And I'm gonna season it too, but I'm just trying to get my consistency like I want it. This one is dry over here too. Cause you just definitely want to make sure it ain't too dry. That's the thing. Also, I got that cream of chicken. Okay, I'm gonna put some of that in there. That cream of chicken. Add some more flavor in there. Also, let me get my seasonings going too. Cause you definitely gotta add more of that.
Now the same seasonings that I did with the meat, I'm going to put in the dressing mixture. I'm going to do salt. I'm going to do black pepper, some garlic powder, some Cajun seasoning, poultry seasoning, preferably Southern blend, and some ground sage. Then I'm mixing it together with the seasoning, getting it in there real good. And it's definitely going to be flavorful because between seasoning the meat, the broth had seasoning in there, and even the veggies I seasoned. And then the overall dressing mixture, the flavor is definitely there. And now that the broth kind of melted the crumbs down, now I can fit it all in the same bowl to mix together. And you see, you can hear the soupiness. You can even make it more soupy than this. But, you know, a little more chicken broth. Yeah, that's a lot of dressing, but you see how much work go into it, so I don't mind. I don't mind. Alright. Now I'm going to get this that I want to put it in. I'm going to take that little butter. I'm going to do that since it's soft. Add some in there. Still feel like it could stand to be a little more soupy, but I'm going to go ahead and put what I'm going to put in here. This what I'm going to cook. Smell good. Ooh wee. Yeah, this gonna be good. And you can see all the meat and the stuff. You can see all that in there. Look good. Yes. Now, again, because I really do not want it to be hard, I'm gonna add a little more chicken broth off up in there. I do not want no dry dressing. I don't. So if you don't want dry dressing, make sure you got enough in there. This a lot in this. This is more than I expected, but I don't care. And then you take some butter and put some dollops of butter on the top while it's cooking in the oven. Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Because see, even when it finishes, it's gonna dry up. So if you don't want it to dry up and be dry and still want it to be kind of, you know, soft or creamy, that's what I want. And that's what I'm gonna do. And for the excess, I'm gonna put it in the freeze bag. Because all this hard work, ain't nobody doing it again. If you're gonna eat it, especially for Thanksgiving and Christmas, just pull it out the bag. And you know what? Since I did add a little more, I'm gonna add some now. You can have for the holiday and during the year. It kept fine, even for 6 months, because I actually ate some around the summertime one year, and it was real good. So it's fine. Might do a few bags. My hand cramping up, y'all. I don't know if you ever had that, especially when you work with your hands a lot. I've been having it happen. You know, if it's like carpal tunnel or something like that. I've always done like computer work, secretarial work, graphic design, and just craft, working with my hands. And it ain't just age, because I noticed it even, you know, before, like in my 30s, after years, but yeah, definitely now. But here to ease up. Feel like you want to lock up. You see how that got that dent is crawling. It's trying to lock over. It's crazy looking. Oh my gosh.
Alright. Anyways, that is that. Put my bag in the freezer. Alright, y'all. So, about to put this in there for about 40 to 45 minutes. Alright, I'm tired. My hands hurt. But I'm going to let that cook for 40 to 45 minutes. And then you can do like 5 to 10 minute increments if you want a crunchier, you know, top. But, so we'll check on it. But yeah, 40 to 45 minutes. And that's what we do. Alright, so now, okay.
That looks tasty.
Alright, y'all. It's time for the taste test. Ooh, it looks so good. Ooh, you can hear it's not dry.
Yep.
It is moist.
Yes.
And like I said, you can do cranberry sauce or Gibber gravy, chicken gravy, whatever. Alright, y'all. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's good, y'all. It's good. Alright, Sauté. Your turn.
Okay.
Lord. Yeah, I guess my oldest daughter taste buds changing because she was smashing the hell out that dressing, and it's already halfway gone. Everybody in there ate some. We ain't even got started with all the food. So I am taking it out the freezer bag and gonna put some in, but I'd rather do that than it go to waste because that's what was happening before. But everybody seemed to liking the dressing. I guess the dressing was really good. So we gonna I should have probably did that longer pan. So you can do that or whatever. But just confirm it is good. Also, y'all, I got these clip-ins. I wanted to try something different, you know, and I did that, and I got them off of Amazon, and the quality of the hair is good. I did it myself. It's kind of rough, you know, trying to blend your real hair in the texture. But I think it looks pretty good, y'all. I'm enjoying it. I just did it this week. I'm enjoying it. Try to do something for myself. You know, shape my brows up. And this dress I had a while, but I don't hardly wear it. This may be my second time wearing it. I got this from Fashion Nova, but it's really comfortable. And something that I can wear in the house, be comfortable, but still cute. You know, or you can wear it out. Because it's supposed to be a dress you wear out, but it kind of reminds me of those muumuus. It's like a nice moo. Yeah, whatever. So I'll put the link in the description box for the hair, you know, because we are a beauty channel, okay? And for this, I did my makeup, but I didn't record it because I've done so many red lip looks that could go for Christmas, Valentine's Day, or anything like that. So just click the link. I'm sure I done popped it up somewhere on the screen. Click that if you want to get a review of that. However, I did use some Fenty from my foundation. So I think it's Soil lip color from Julia's Place, so I will put the link for that. I kind of like it because I wanted something not as bright red, but then I used Culture gloss over it. And yeah, so I didn't record the look, but you know, I will have it in the description if you're liking it. And I think I did blush from La Femme in an actual red and sienna kind of mixed together. But yeah, so hope y'all enjoyed this look, even though I know you didn't see much from cooking, but I'm gonna make sure I got that for the girls that need to know the specs. So yeah. And this is clear quartz. I'm liking this hair though, y'all. We flipping hair today. We flipping hair today. Well, I want to thank y'all for watching. It's definitely a lot of steps and a lot going on, but I'm done. I'm finally done. And so hope you guys enjoyed your holidays and have a happy new year and a blessed new year. And make sure you guys like and subscribe and stay tuned for more. Bye.